Okay, the rear caliper is a little bit different than the front caliper. As you can see where it's perched on top of the rotor. The retainer is still 2 bolts on the back side. We'll go ahead and take those loose, pop the caliper off, and we'll take a good look at everything. The rear brakes on this are kind of unique compared to the front. We're only looking at 1/2 of the brake system because the rear brakes also have the parking brake assembly. We can't even see the parking brake assembly because it's inside of the rotor. This is getting to be more and more of a common parking brake design. When I take the rotor off, I'll be able to look at that. And I want to look at that first and then make an overall decision of what I need to do with this wheel. Okay, there's our parking brake assembly. If you look at the rotor, we have the front and back side of the rotor where the disc pads are going to stop the vehicle with the regular brakes. But inside this rotor, we actually have a miniature drum brake right here. That's our parking brake assembly. Whenever you're inspecting this type of brake, you want to inspect the rotor, both surfaces here and also the surface inside of the drum. And when you're inspecting your disc pads, you want to look at your disc pads, but also you want to look at your emergency brake shoes. Now the nice thing about this is this is a total mechanical style brake system, so in the event that your hydraulic system would fail, you can push the emergency brake or parking brake and it'll go ahead and apply the brakes in the back so you'll still have a braking system. What we want to do now, this has a lot of brake dust on it. You never want to use air, compressed air, to blow the dust off there. So we're going to take brake cleaner and spray everything down, and then we'll take a good look at everything. Well, I'd say we probably have about 3/4 of our disc pad left, so in reality we could go ahead and not do the rear brakes, but I want to go through the procedure and show you how to do this. Also on our parking brake, it looks like this has hardly ever been used because I'd say that's close to the original thickness of the shoes. Everything there looks fine. I think we'll go ahead and replace the disc pads. We're going ahead and replace the rotors. Our front rotors were grooved a lot worse than our back ones, but you can see we do have a couple of deep grooves in the rotors. So we'll put new disc pads on it and rear rotors, and we should be in good shape. Well, the next step is just like the front. We need to push the piston back in and put our new pads in place. You also want to make sure that you lube the contact and slide points, which would be both sides of the caliper bracket. So you want to lubricate those real well. The shipping film that's on the rotor, make sure when you take that film off, you not only take it off the disc side, but also the drum side as well. Well, I have this side all ready to be put back together, but before I do though, I want to go ahead and take the other side apart, inspect the caliper, and make sure the caliper over there is in good condition, because if it isn't, I have to replace them as a pair. Let's go ahead and check that next. Well, the caliper on this side is in good shape as well, so what we need to do is replace the disc pads, put the new rotors on, and we'll be like new again. On the front disc pads, we had the wear sensor built on the pads. We don't have that on the rear, but there is a difference between the left and right disc pad on the outboard pad. You want to make sure you get the correct pad on the correct side. Let's go ahead and put it together. Well, we have this brake all together. Next, I want to go and put the tire and wheel back on, take it down off of the jack stand. We're just about done. Pump the brake pedal several times. What that'll do is that'll bring the pistons back out of the caliper bores. We want to go underneath the hood and double check our brake fluid level. Wipe off around the cap area before you take that cap off, or debris will fall into the master cylinder. You want to make sure you use brake fluid out of a closed container. If not, it's going to be contaminated. Well, we have the brakes on all 4 wheels. We've topped off the master cylinder. The last step, we want to take it for a test drive to make sure the brakes work properly. As with any job, to do it right, you'll need the right tools. The nice thing is that jobs today don't require a large, expensive assortment. Basic hand tools are generally all you'll need. In case where a specialty tool is required, be sure to check with AutoZone's Loan a Tool program. They have many specialty tools that can help you complete your job a lot quicker and easier. The first things you'll need are a socket set, brake line wrench, drop light, and a repair manual for your specific vehicle. You may also need screwdrivers or pliers to remove some components. A torque wrench is necessary for tightening nuts and bolts to the correct specifications.
When lifting a vehicle, never work under it until it has been secured with wheel blocks and securely positioned on jack stands. A hydraulic jack alone is never enough. Be cautious when working with oils and chemicals. Many are damaging to the groundwater environment and toxic to people and animals. Never drain or pour chemicals into the ground or sewer systems. Local municipalities and counties offer resources for proper disposal. And always remember to wear your safety glasses.
Get the entire DVD for this repair and all other procedures covered in the Complete Car Care series at your local AutoZone store.